You brought up the Knicks, 90s Knicks, old school. Speaking of old school, you know what that meant? People getting smacked up. Big man coming back in the game. Adam Silver, here we go. People love scoring, but maybe the league over-calibrated toward offense because fans clearly love defense too. They want to see physical. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Who does guy think he's talking to, Flea? Adam Silver, you think you slick, man. But he wants his defense to come back. And then, of course, you got Rajon Rondo here talking about the death of point guards. Let's see what he had to say.
I mean, it's sad. I believe, basketball guys appreciate, myself and Chris that how the way we played the game. I believe the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't not that every guard is scoring down is selfish, but at the same time, the point guard is the leader of the floor. He's an extension of the coach on the floor. And like I said earlier about it, if a lot of these coaches got thrown out the game, point guard wouldn't know how to handle the situation. They wouldn't know what plays to call down the stretch of the games. They wouldn't know who to get the ball to a certain time. It's different matchups. So, it's sad the game has gone this way. But again, the league wanted scoring. The league pushed, 160-point games. Like, there's no defense isn't being, cherished. There's a defensive man award, but nobody really talks about it.
Right.
It's not like that guy's actual defensive player that can stop and play both sides. So
actually, that has everything to do with what we're talking about.
I cannot wait till that brother gets a job as a head coach. And the NBA better do right. If they want to start doing some like Tory B says, some real course correction, the NBA better start hiring some of these real guys that want to coach. Not the niggas that y'all like and that have, put the time in. Yeah, you got to reward some of those guys. But reward the guys that actually want to coach. Rajon Rondo actually wants to coach, and he could do some real correcting on what the fuck is going on in the NBA and how to have some of these guards. If they really want some change, start hiring some of these coaches that you saw what the fuck Will Hardy did the other night. How often do we see that shit?
Get the fucking stage. Fuck out of the way. I'm tired of fucking doing this every game. Play harder.
Fucking play harder.
Fuck out of the way. I'm tired of fucking doing this every game. Fucking play harder.
Oh, shit.
How can you not love Will Hardy saying that? How can you not love that? And he's a pretty damn good coach, young coach. How can you not love that?
Well, Hardy, calm down.
It starts there. It starts there. When we get coaches, more coaches like that, and more people who give a fuck. If the NBA is right, when Chris Paul is up and ready to be a head coach, they better find a way to get him a head coaching job. Those are the type of guys that you want leading the pack and leading your team. Whether you like them niggas or not, I don't care if any of you niggas like any of these niggas personally. But from who they are as basketball players and what they could give to the game, yes, them niggas deserve to be head coaches when it's all said and done. Rajon Rondo should be leading the basketball team when the time is right. Chris Paul should be leading a basketball team when the time is right. They're going to hold players accountable. They're going to preach both sides of the basketball. They're going to have you disciplined. They're going to have you loving the game. I don't even know if any of these coaches can even motivate you to love the game anymore. These niggas don't look like they're going to run through a wall. If I'm playing for Will Hardy and he's cutting my ass like that, I want to run through a wall for that nigga. Because he's just as passionate as me, and he's not even playing. He can't even suit up. And he gives the fuck like that? Come on. I got to play hard at this point. If you care. We could talk about Adam Silver. We could bring Adam Silver up all we want, but these niggas don't care. These niggas don't care. And when we start getting players back in the game that care about playing the game, being gritty, getting stops, then maybe, you could promote the league how you want to promote it. But we got to start getting more and more people in these certain spots as head coaches, as scouts, as GMs. When you start influxing the GMs into in the front office and guys getting in there that like are hard nosed, why the fuck you think Detroit is looking the way they look? Trajan Langdon comes from Mike Krzyzewski. This is not by accident. This shit ain't by accident. Like, come on, y'all. Come on. Yes, we could kick Adam Silver's back in. This is what he promoted. And he looks like, he's one of those new innovative leaders that does his leading by allowing people around him to help him lead. He's not a David Stern, the iron fist. Yo, we doing it this way or we ain't doing no other way at all. But Adam Silver is 10 years in, bro. You got to start figuring out what works and what doesn't work. All this trying to fly shit and, do innovative shit and look cool and look like the players, commissioner, fuck all that, bro. Fuck all that, because it's fucking the game up. It's fucking the game up. Stop this shit. Stop wanting to be these niggas' friends. Fuck being these niggas' friends. Get basketball back to the height. Football ain't going nowhere. Baseball's about to start letting these niggas do steroids again. This shit's about to be over. Adam Silver, don't get left behind, bro. I'm telling you. Nah, Fabian, for real, bro. No, man. No,
Well,
get this shit back in order, man.
A lot of people like to blame Adam Silver, and I can't fully hold him accountable. Because
It can't be fully him, but he's a part of it.
This thing started over 24 years ago when they put in the zone defense. Pro basketball, NBA's illegal defense rule will most likely be eliminated. The New York Times article from April 12, 2001. You got Rudy Tomjanovich. He says he and a couple of others were on the campaign trail this week working hard. It's getting ugly. This whole thing has pitted a lot of the coaches and players against management, and it shouldn't be that way. This is all about getting rid of the illegal defense and adding the zone defense 24 years ago, instituting a defensive 3-second rule in which defenders will be allowed to stay in the lane for only 3 seconds unless they were within arm's length of an opponent. You see that happening now. That's all we see now. We are in the remnants of that currently. Shortening the 10-second rule to bring the ball back up past midcourt to 8 seconds, redefining incidental contact to cut down on touch fouls. So that's all to promote the game for offense, obviously. The changes are meant to encourage more movement and passing while discouraging teams from steering offenses toward isolation plays in which a majority of a team's players stand idle on the weak side to draw defenders away from the ball. That trend has been a factor in the decrease in scoring over the past decade. I think it's a huge mistake.
What I got Pat Riley say.
Pat Riley, whoa, chill out, man. I think it's a huge mistake. Pat Riley said last week, there's not going to be anybody able to drive. With these rules, you're going back to the 70s in scoring. You can't force pace. Sounds wrong. It sounds very bold, and it is. Acknowledged Jerry Colangelo, the Phoenix Suns owner and chairman of the committee that submitted the recommendation 2 weeks ago, and signed Steve Nash in that offseason, thinking he's slick when it went through. But at this point, it's better than a tweak. The fact is, we don't have any fluidity in our game right now. There is less ball movement and less player movement than there's ever been. Might be true because that was the post-Jordan era, which they don't want to talk about. But most opponents,
but there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a healthy balance, though.
Right.
Finish that article. My bad.
Most opponents of the rule changes agree with Colangelo that the game has become too stagnant and that the choreography of the teamwork has all but disappeared from many arenas. But they don't feel such a dramatic change will suddenly turn the game into the free-flowing style that will raise television ratings and increase fan interest. Well, they're wrong about that. Luckily, they got Steph in there. It would change the sport, as Rudy Tomjanovich said. One of the most vocal opponents of the zone defense, we should create a situation where great players get a chance to excel. Zones neutralize great athletic ability. People want to see guys who can soar to the basket. Calling the committee's proposed changes a knee-jerk reaction to complaints about the pace of the game. Fans like to see Vince Carter play one-on-one outside. That stuff is going to be history. Isolation basketball has been a part of the game ever since I've been in it. That's what Pat Riley said. Other coaches like Phil Jackson and George Karl were weary of the increased focus on defense and the plotting half-court sets that have led to the game stagnation are fine with the changes. Phil Jackson said, I'm totally okay with the zone. It's going to hurt Shaq, but it's still part of what the game has to be. And, of course, that was Shaq's coach. Then you have Damon Stoudemire saying it will mess the game up. I'm not a big advocate of zone defense. That's the reason why players leave college. You're going to put a boxing one on Vince Carter. Fans are paying money to see these games. You can't wait. You can't just take away what has essentially made the NBA what it is, one-on-one basketball. This is all interesting. If the debate has polarized some in the coaching community, it has created a wedge between coaches and ownership. Got the Heat, San Antonio were among two dissenters. It was something else I wanted to see here. Here's a veteran coach. He was anonymous. He said, "You don't ask Lenny Wilkins, Pat Riley, Rudy Tomjanovich, or Larry Brown to be on that committee. Most of the people on that committee have worked for the league in some capacity. What they've done is pitted the coaches against the owners." Colangelo defended the committee and dismissed the notion that the changes were railroaded. Many of the people in favor of these changes have been in the game over the last 3 decades. We can relate to how everything has evolved. I understand their concerns, but the fact is, many of the coaches in the league are entrenched. One of my arguments is each franchise now averages about 6 assistants per team. Let's put them to work. Oh, shit. That's going back to what Rondo just said. That is one of the major concerns among opponents, that coaches will have more control of the game. People will be coming up with all kinds of crazy defenses. I want that what's best for the NBA. I'm not sure the rule changes are. Tomjanovich added, this shouldn't be us against them, but I would think we could come up with rules to encourage exploiting our assets instead of stifling them. I'm not one of these guys who think the players of today aren't what they used to be. There are guys now who do things we never dreamed about. I think we've been so desensitized by all the amazing plays that we forgot that that's what people come to see. Stern appointed Colangelo nearly 2 months ago to choose a committee. Blase blah. Steve Francis, a typical Houston set, is giving one guy the ball and sending everyone else away from him. Hardly anyone else is even involved. It's not the lack of ball movement. People wonder whatever happened in the lost art of offensive rebounding. Players are no longer in position to rebound because of some of those sets. Everyone knows we have a problem, but no one has come up with anything better. If this thing doesn't pass, then that's it. We're not gonna go back. Monster Mash, he said, I don't see how that's going to be I don't see how that's going to promote scoring. You look at teams like the Lakers and the Heat, Shaq and Alonzo will be in the lane. Imagine playing against David Robinson and Tim Duncan standing there in the middle of a 3-2 zone. Damn. It all ties together, especially with Rajon Rondo, no disrespect. I don't know how to really say your name, but he said the point guard is necessary because without him, the coaches won't know what to do. And that's very funny that he's sitting behind Doc Rivers right now on that Milwaukee Bucks bench. Of course, in his heyday, come on now. And even at the end of his days, Rajon Rondo was still doing his thing, winning championships with the Lakers. That trade to Cleveland was almost a turnaround when Evan Mobley first went down his rookie year, when Ricky Rubio got hurt. Just a smart mind. Everybody credits Rajon Rondo. But the only thing I want to add to this is you saw what Phil Jackson said. The zone's going to hurt Shaq. And players like Shaq is what he should have said. Because that's the end of the last of the Mohicans. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.